What's going on YouTube? Jeff Tuffman here with episode 9 of the Glorious Podcast, where we're going to discuss what happened on the first ever Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view last night. The first ever Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, which I think, in my opinion, was actually not a bad pay-per-view. It was one of the better pay-per-views. I felt like for a single brand pay-per-view, hats off to WWE. They put on a pretty good show, in my opinion. Not everyone's saying that. A lot of people were, shitting on the show, saying it was one of the worst pay-per-views ever, but I actually kind of enjoyed the show. Of course, there were the things I liked I didn't like, but I feel like, the things I liked outnumbered the things I didn't like about the show. There were more positives I pulled from the show than negatives, compared to, the more negatives I usually pull from an episode of Monday Night Raw, which I'll probably be doing tonight, watching Raw. Nonetheless, let's get into it here. They didn't waste my time. I enjoyed the Cruiserweight match on the pre-show. Neville, Tozawa, good match. I mean, I said before in my prediction video, I'm like, this match should be on the main card. I'm more, interested in what's going to happen in this match than I am in, Enzo and Big Cass, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins. There's more of, a story here behind this. Not even a story. I mean, I knew it was going to be a good match because Cruiserweight matches are usually good. Even though, the story behind the whole Cruiserweights, they don't have any character development or anything on the stories. There's no, background to them. They just have good matches. I feel like that's the thing. So usually when a pay-per-view comes around, the Cruiserweight matches are always something to look forward to. I was disappointed to see that it was on the pre-show. I felt like it could have did better than that, but nonetheless, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Neville picks up the win, retains the title. I didn't expect Tozawa to win, mainly because it was on the pre-show. I thought maybe there would be a chance if it were on the main card, but the fact that as soon as I heard a pre-show, next to it, I was like, oh, no chances. No chance Tozawa wins here. Maybe another match down the road, SummerSlam. I don't know. I've been thinking they're going to do something crazy at SummerSlam with the Cruiserweights. That's actually going to be one of the better things at SummerSlam. A lot of people might be surprised by that. But it'll be interesting to see where the Cruiserweight division goes from here. But, they start off good match on the pre-show. Then we get to the main card. Open the show up, the main show, with Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins. Like I said, not interested in this feud, really. There's nothing, really behind it or whatever. The bill has been kind of shitty for it. So the match was decent. Good match. I'm not surprised. Surprised that it was good. I expected a good match. Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins could easily put on a good match. Two talented wrestlers right there. But Bray Wyatt picks up a very rare win, which I was very surprised with. I don't usually see expect Bray Wyatt to win a match. I legit picked Seth Rollins to win just because Bray Wyatt loses everything at this point. I've given up. I don't know if I would be able to predict Bray Wyatt to win a match ever again. I don't know. Maybe I hope this doesn't lead to a shitty rematch or something at SummerSlam where they're just doing Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt. Seth Rollins deserves better than just a match against Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam. Unless they add something to the story or maybe have some kind of crazy stipulation at the match. If they have another match at SummerSlam, then I might be a little more invested in this. But from what it is at now, it's just I could care less. We get the other match I didn't really care about, but I love the build. But it was just so predictable that what was going to happen in this match. Big Cass and Enzo. Obviously, Cass picks up the win. I actually changed my prediction. I said Enzo would pick up the win. Cass would get disqualified, so he would go off, and then the ref would disqualify him, but he would still come out on top. And I expected the Big Show to show up too. I was thinking, I feel like we're gonna get Cass versus the Big Show. Big Show's gonna put Cass over at SummerSlam. That's what I'm expecting. I'm still expecting that to happen, even though we didn't see a show last night. Probably tonight we'll see him on Raw, but Cass just picks up the win clean, and his new theme music is awful. That is the most generic theme I've ever heard. They need to fix that. And hopefully that's just one day just throw in there, figure we need to get him a new theme or something. Hopefully they're able to actually maybe come up with a better theme, because that was just that was one of the worst themes ever. Maybe that's just because I heard it for the first time. There's been many themes where I've heard for the first time and I said that's awful, and then 2 months later and I'm that's one of my favorite themes. So I don't know, maybe I'll give it some time, but it was just so generic. It was just I don't know, I didn't like it. Not many people liked it, let's just say that. I didn't really see anybody who liked it. So Cass picks up the win. Then we get the 30-minute Iron Man match, which this here was another good match, very good match. Not that I didn't expect it once again. The Hardys, Sheamus and Cesaro, you usually know they're gonna put on a good match. The feud, people are kind of getting bored with the feud. I am. I know a lot of other people are kind of, tired of, the Sheamuses and Cesaro and the Hardy Boy feud. It's been going on since basically after WrestleMania. I can't believe they actually had another match, but I was actually happy because it turned out to be a very well, done match. 30 minutes, the whole story of the match, it was good. A lot of people are talking about if Matt Hardy's going broken. I mean, he was bleeding at the end of the match, so some people are saying that's going to lead to it. And speaking of blood and all that, I mean, there were at least 5 different people bleeding last night. I mean, I felt like every match there was blood involved. I mean, I think this pay-per-view was originally supposed to be called Bad Blood 2, and then WWE like shot it down and said it was going to be called The Great Balls of Fire. So I mean, this would have made more sense to be called Bad Blood. I mean, there was just blood every end of the match, someone was bleeding. It was crazy. But yeah, the Hardys, they lose again. I'm surprised by this because Sheamus is supposed to go away, film a movie or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, what's gonna happen there? I mean, I feel like the feud might be over. Maybe, I don't know. I thought the Hardys would win, and then they would go on to face the Revival at SummerSlam, and then they would eventually go broken from there on out. But I don't know. I guess they have. I mean, they might still go face the Revival, just not for the titles. But then who's Sheamus and Cesaro gonna face? So it's a lot of questions to be answered in the whole tag team division on Raw, and it's really gotten small, the tag division on Raw. I mean, other than Sheamus and Cesaro, the Hardy Boys, and the Revival, I mean, there's really no one else. Enzo and Cass split up. The Golden Truth split up. I mean, there might be one other team I'm forgetting, but like other than like big name teams, I mean, they're the only 3. So I mean, Raw used to have a pretty stacked tag division, and I don't know, just they decided to split up Enzo and Cass, which was a completely stupid idea. And I mean, the Golden Truth weren't gonna, they weren't gonna win the titles, and that's, I mean, they were gonna split eventually. Speaking of the Golden Truth, where the hell were they last night? I thought we would get a match between R-Truth and Goldust. They've been building this up for like months now. They had those promos on Raw. They attacked each other the last 2 weeks. I thought like, oh yeah, they'll at least throw that on the pre-show, right? And they don't even put it on the card. We don't even get that. We don't see no Finn Balor. Once again, Finn Balor nowhere to be seen. It looks like they still have no idea what they want to do with Finn Balor. Hopefully, they have something in store for him at SummerSlam, but I have a feeling it's just going to be a match against Elias Sampson, which is disappointing. I mean, if Seth Rollins is taking on Bray Wyatt again, and Elias Sampson's taking on Finn Balor at SummerSlam, unless they could put somewhat of a compelling story behind the matches and the build's good, I really don't see how I could really be interested in that. I feel like both. I mean, I'd rather just give me like Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins again in a one-on-one match or whatever, and then Elias Sampson versus Bray Wyatt. I'd rather see that than what it looks like they might be heading toward too. But there's still a lot of time between now and so there's almost like 7 or 8 weeks. I mean, SmackDown's got a pay-per-view in a few weeks, Battleground, but Raw doesn't have another pay-per-view. Raw don't have a single branded pay-per-view until the end of September. But the next pay-per-view they have is SummerSlam, obviously, so still a lot of time. They, before they even really get into building up for the pay-per-view. All right, the next match we got was the women's title, Raw Women's title, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss. Like I said, I expected Alexa to win. Well, not necessarily win the match. I picked her to win. She actually didn't win the match. Sasha won the match, but it was count out, so title don't change hands, which is good because I know now that this is definitely going to lead to another match, and I was really, that was all I cared about. I just wanted to see this lead to another match. I knew Alexa would win. I know, this is a story behind it. I don't know if there's real, heat between Sasha and Alexa. Everybody says there is. They've always, there's been heat between them. I don't know if there really is, but they can, even if there isn't, everybody thinks that, so they could use that to kind of, compel the story. You know what I mean? People, it would really get people invested in the feud. Not that people already are, but like I said, it looks like there's going to be another match, just by the way that ended, and then Sasha attacks Alexa after the match. So it definitely looks like it will lead to another match. I'm hoping it's SummerSlam. I mean, like I said, there's still a ton of time between now and SummerSlam that they could just throw that on Raw and then move on to something else. It's rumored to be Alexa versus Nia, which is just, please, no. Not right now. Down the road, yes, but not at SummerSlam. Just give us Sasha versus Alexa at SummerSlam. I mean, the story would be great. I think the build could be, outstanding for that match, too. And it would probably be some kind of, stipulation added to the match, too. Maybe, something crazy. Because, something to prevent a count-out, maybe a no DQ match or something. I don't know. But I feel like that's where they're going, and I'm hoping that's where they're going with the women's division on Raw. Sasha versus Alexa at SummerSlam. Please, WWE, give me that match. Move on to the Intercontinental title match. Dean Ambrose and The Miz. The Miz retains. No surprise here. Let's just please hope this, please end this feud, WWE. They have to end this feud. I am just so, careless about this feud. I mean, it's just so, it's just, they've been going at it all year. Even going back to SmackDown. Dean Ambrose and The Miz, they had their feud in the beginning of the year in January. Then they kind of went their own way for a little bit, and then they both got moved to Raw. And then as soon as they got moved to Raw, ever since right after WrestleMania, it's been Dean Ambrose and The Miz feuding. It's just like, end this. Like, it's got to end at this point. I mean, move on with The Miz. Give him something else to do with the Intercontinental title. Make it, more prestigious again or whatever. I don't know. I don't have an idea. They should do like Finn Balor. That would be perfect. Finn Balor versus The Miz for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. That would work out. I don't know what the hell to do with Dean Ambrose at this point. He's a complete disaster. Turn him heel or something. I really don't know what they're going to do with Dean Ambrose. That'll be interesting to see where they go with him. But let's just hope this feud is over. Let's just hope Raw doesn't come on tonight and they're just like still trying to continue this feud. Like, just please end it. Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, the ambulance match. This was probably my favorite part of the show. The match was good again. Like, they had the match at Payback a few months ago. That was good. Strowman ended up winning, but Roman came out strong. Strowman ended up getting hurt, got the surgery, comes back. We get another match, an ambulance match. Strowman picks up the win again, but once again, I feel like the story here with WWE is they don't want to make either man look weak in this feud. They don't want to make Roman look weak. We all know that. Vince is never going to let that happen. Roman will always look strong even in a losing effort in Vince's work, in Vince's mind. But I feel like they actually kind of want to make Strowman look strong in every way possible. But what happened after the match is, I think, why I'm saying like this is my favorite part of the show. Not necessarily the match. The match was good, but like what happened after the match, the whole extra part of it they went was great. The whole idea of Roman driving the ambulance, backing it into the truck. I'm sitting there the whole time watching this for about 10-15 minutes, however long it took for them to finally get the damn door of the ambulance open. And I'm saying, why don't they just drive the ambulance forward maybe, and they can get right in the back? Did Roman take the keys with them, or were they just sitting in the front of the ambulance? I mean, they could have at least had something where they showed Roman maybe like throwing the keys away or taking them with them. But like it was just it took forever getting like it was like 15 minutes, and then they even threw on another match. What was it? Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins just out of nowhere. Just throw it on there, kind of have something to pan away from when what I mean. So that you not have complete focus on what's going on backstage. Have something else in the ring. Nobody was really paying attention to the match in the ring. They all wanted to know what was going on backstage with Strowman in the ambulance and all that stuff. But a lot of people were speculating this could be a heel turn for Roman. I doubt it. I really is. I saw a thing saying that it's a face turn for Strowman, but Reigns is still going to be face too. So I don't know what the hell that's leading to. I mean, it's like they don't want to turn Roman heel. I don't know why they won't do it, because he'd be so much better. He already gets enough heat as it is. I mean, can you imagine the heat he'd get if he actually was a heel and did stuff? People would he'd get loudest boos in WWE history. Like, people would boo him out of the building every week. I mean, they already do, but it would be insane. I mean, he can get like the most heat for a heel ever. I don't understand what's taking him so long. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the rumors are wrong. Maybe he is turning heel. I hope. That would be amazing. But like I said, great segment. I like everything after the match was great. The whole idea, and then you have Strowman. Like I said, Strowman, he still looks strong. He walks away from the scene, avoids any medical attention or whatever. That's good. So you know what I mean. Still making Strowman look strong in the situation. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where these two men go. Roman saying he's the number one contender, but Strowman picked up the win again. Are we even going to see Strowman on Raw tonight or whatever? What the hell is going to happen? I don't know. Really interested to see where they go from here. And I feel like I'm saying that with a lot of stuff where, I just want to see. I'm curious to see how the SummerSlam, though. That's what I just want to get to. I want to see what SummerSlam is going to look like. I want to see the feud start to come together tonight. I don't even know if they'd even get into it. They might not even touch on SummerSlam stuff tonight. But they should. I mean, give it a nice lengthy build for everything, and then just you have an amazing SummerSlam, better than last year. Let's just hope, because last year was abysmal. Main event: Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe, the highly anticipated match. The match that I thought had amazing build. It was the one thing every week I'd consistently pull from Raw as a positive on Monday Night Raw. There would never be a week where I'd say I didn't like the Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar build. They really built Joe up as a top heel. It almost seemed as Brock Lesnar was the face in this feud. A lot of people were saying many things could happen. People were saying, Heyman could turn on Brock, join Joe. Lesnar picks up the win. Decent little match. It was a little quick. I mean, you figured with how long the whole Strowman Reigns thing went, and then after the match, it was almost 11 o'clock, I think, when they were starting that match. But, I don't think it actually matters the time-wise. on the network. I think they can go as long as they almost want because it's on the network. It's not on pay-per-view where they, it's not, or like Monday Night Raw where it's got to be over at a certain time. They can go maybe like a half hour over on Raw or whatever. They can't go anywhere over on SmackDown. That's ridiculous. But good little match. I like the match. Lesnar wins. I'm not going to say I'm pissed that he won. I kind of expected him to win. I mean, I thought there could be a chance Joe wins, which I would have like marked out like crazy if Joe would have won. But Lesnar wins. I don't know if we'll lead into another match here or what's going to happen. A lot of people complaining about the fact that Lesnar only hit one F5 to put Joe away. He hit a couple suplexes, I think, before that, but I am kind of surprised by that too. Like only one F5. I feel like Lesnar's usually hitting like 12 F5s or something in a match, and then finally he puts someone away or whatever. But he was hitting a ton of suplexes as usual in the match. Joe, he got a little offense in too. Good back and forth match. I wish they would have gave him a little more time, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. Like, that's all I want to know. Like, this was just setting up SummerSlam, this pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view, in my opinion, but it was mostly just setting up what the card for SummerSlam is going to look like, what the feuds are going to look like, to kind of give you an idea of what SummerSlam will look like. But overall, I enjoyed the show. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought of the first ever Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view in the comments below. Hit me up on Twitter. The link will be in the description below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I'll see you tomorrow for the SmackDown Live review on the Glorious Podcast.